This time on Critter Companions.
Oh, hey guys, we're going to Ark Wildlife Center. So come on in and meet your friends right here on Critter Companions.
It's Critter Companions. Come meet your friends on Critter Companions.
Hey there! Do you know what the smartest animal on the farm is? Stay tuned to find out.
Hey guys, we're here at the Bucks County SPCA and we're talking about Karen here about their training program. Now, why do you guys have a training program here at the SPCA?
Well, having a training and behavior program at the shelter is so important because it really helps the animals within our care maintain their mental and behavioral health. Basically what that means is that we help them stay mentally healthy while they're waiting for their home so they don't get frustrated or bored.
Now, what kind of training do you actually do?
We do any kind of training that is going to be beneficial for the dog. So we often do just basic obedience, but we also love to teach them some tricks and some games, whatever is going to help engage the dog's mind and keep them busy and active and learning something proactive.
Okay, and who do we have here?
This is Beans.
Hi, Beans.
And he was surrendered to us a little while ago, and he's getting ready to move up into adoption so he can find his new family.
Okay, now can you show us a little bit what you do to train Beans? Like, what kind of stuff would you do? Can you give us an example?
Yeah, so I don't know if you noticed, but just when we were talking, I was rewarding every time Beans was offering a sit. And it's something that's really, really simple, but sits are so important because it's one of the behaviors that can address a lot of different problems in a home setting. But even just learning to sit, you know, people are impressed that shelter dogs know how to sit and can do cool things for them. So something as simple as rewarding a sit and showing other people that the dog knows how to sit and be responsive to those types of commands is really beneficial.
Now, you always hear the rumor that old dogs can't learn new tricks. Is that true, or can you train any dog?
You can totally train any dog. You can totally train an old dog new tricks. It's just like working with different types of people. They might have different learning styles, but they can absolutely still learn.
Okay, and what else do you guys do with this training program? Is there anything else you'd like to tell us about it?
Yeah, absolutely. Other aspects of our training program are also to provide enrichment for our shelter animals. So, you know, we'll make sure that they have soft bedding, that they have toys, that they have Kongs, which are like hollow toys that we stuff with food. So just providing that in-kennel enrichment really helps stave off stress and frustration for shelter dogs. So that's a big part of our program as well.
Now, you told me about the sitting and you're rewarding them for that, but is there any more advanced things that you teach these dogs here in the shelter?
Yeah, absolutely, depending on how long we have them. So, you know, once our dogs go into adoption, they really get adopted very quickly, which is a really great thing and no one complains about at all. But generally what that means is that we only have the opportunity to teach them one or two skills before they're already headed home, which is not a problem. If they're here with us for a longer amount of time, for example, if they're getting a medical treatment and we have them for a little while, then we would certainly have the opportunity to teach them more advanced skills. So we might teach them other basic obedience behaviors like down or stay or walking nicely on leash, or we might start teaching them leave it or drop it, or doing other types of tricks with them.
Okay, I know there's a lot of different things you can train a dog to do, but what can you train a cat to do?
Yeah, so it's a great question. In a shelter setting, we might train them something as simple as how to target. So targeting basically is teaching them to touch their nose to something on a command. So I might teach a cat or a kitten to touch my finger outside of its kennel or a short target stick. And the purpose of that is both to give them something to think about, something to learn, which engages their brain, but it also gets them active coming to the front of the kennel and helps them engaging with potential adopters as well.
Now, if I want to know more information about this, is there a website I can go to find out more about what you do with the animals here?
Our website is bcspca.org.
Karen, thank you so much for showing us your training and enrichment program here at the Bucks County SPCA. You guys at home, if you found this information important or informative, please share it with your friends. That way they can get this information too. For Critter Companions, I'm Nate Hall.
up next on Critter Companions.
Hey guys, welcome to Critter Companions, and we're going to talk just a little bit about what to do when you find a fawn, and that's a little baby deer. And this is something I learned the hard way, because when I called ARC, you guys told me what?
We told you to put it back.
Exactly, and why is that?
Well, mother deer do not stay with their babies. When the babies are born, they're really tiny. And as you can see from our deer back here, they're a little bit bigger. They came in a few weeks ago. But when they're born, they're real rickety and real tiny and real skinny. And they're weak. And they can't keep up with the mother who needs to move around. In fact, she has multiple babies in the area, sometimes 2 or 3 others. So she puts the baby down in your yard in a nice safe spot, or in a field or in the woods or wherever it is she chooses to leave it. And the baby stays there. He sometimes will get up and walk around, but then he'll lay down again. So if you see a fawn in your yard or while you're out in the park laying down and it's all curled up in a ball and it's sleeping comfortably, that baby's just fine. Probably mom just fed it and he's resting away until she comes back to feed it again.
Excellent, because I'm guessing mom has to go out to eat so that she can make food for the babies.
Correct. And the babies are too small and too weak to keep up with her. And did you know that part of her digestion involves her movement? So she needs to walk all day long in order to properly digest her food and make that milk that they need.
What are some of the signs of distress that if we see a baby deer, we would know it's not away from mom, but we might need to get it help?
Absolutely. It's important to know when to get involved because certainly things happen to the mothers. The car is their #1 predator, so we can never be sure that a mother in her travels hasn't gotten hit by a car. So if the baby is crying, terribly crying for hours on end, there's a problem. If you see flies around the baby, there's a problem. If you see that it is laying down but not curled up in a ball, but like laying down, maybe its legs are stretched out or its head is at an odd angle, that baby is in distress and needs help immediately. So you would want to put on a pair of gloves or get a towel, pick it up, gently put it into something that it can't get out of, a large box perhaps, or a big Tupperware thing, and bring it to the ARC right away so that we can care for it. If you can't bring it right away, the only thing you should ever offer it is Pedialyte. It's really important not to try to feed a deer that you have found. If you give it the wrong milk, you can set us back days and maybe not even be able to save it.
What is the reason that you can't give it other types of milks?
Well, their stomach is so sensitive and so particular with what it can tolerate. If you give it cow's milk, for instance, you'll make it so sick that I probably won't be able to save it if it really drinks enough of it.
So is there something we can do to put in our backyard that maybe mom likes to eat so that maybe we can see the deer come through as they get bigger in our yards?
Well, I suppose the deer really like apples. So if you were really interested in having the deer come through your property, you might want to put some apples out. But it's a really nice thing to do in the fall and winter when food is scarce and the food that they're eating is really low quality browse. You can always put out a deer feed mix that you can get at a feed store.
Excellent.
And that is a nice thing. Then the deer will more likely come into your yard and enjoy that little snack. You don't want to put enough out that could sustain them, because if you stop putting it out, they've come to rely on it. So what you want to do is supplement, not feed heavy.
Okay, and then that might actually be able to help us see the babies as they grow come through our yard again with mom.
Yes, once they get to be about this size, as our babies are here, they would be following mom. And that's when you see them running and playing and having a ball. Again, don't get involved unless there's obvious signs of distress.
What do you do if you find a little baby laying comfortably but close to the road?
Good question. Sometimes they get up and try to follow mom and she darts across the road and then they just plop down. That's a dangerous situation. You don't want a baby on the road. You definitely could get hit by a car. But because they do get up and move around, it's okay to put on a pair of gloves and move that baby off the road. Get him back, maybe even 100 yards off the road.
And Leah, thank you very much for telling us what to do if we come across one of these cute little guys today. And if anybody would like to volunteer or donate, you can call the Ark Wildlife Center. They'd be more than happy to have some help down here. And for Critter Companions, I'm Corey Armedio. Thank you.
So Jackie, what are the smartest animals on the farm?
The smartest animals on the farm, believe it or not, are pigs. These two potbelly pigs are available for adoption through Last Chance Ranch. That's Oink and Trixie. And pigs are about as smart as dolphins. They can learn tricks, they can learn to live in a house. Sometimes they walk on leashes with harnesses. They can really learn a lot of different facts.
This concludes our broadcasting day. We thank you for enjoying this PBR Productions video.